It's tea time.
Look at this. Oh, perfect.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, my name is Mel.
And I'm Charles.
And you're watching Remy TV, aka your favorite YouTube streaming network where you'll never want to change the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Tea Time, where we spill the tea on crazy news that has hit the internet. And this week we are talking about Lily Phillips. Now, if you don't know about Lily Phillips, she is an OnlyFans influencer who had a goal and it was achieved. But the goal in question is very questionable.
Yeah, so her main goal is to have sex with 101 men in one day. And I guess she wanted all of this filmed as well.
Yes,
for her
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And it has been reported, according to the online chit chat, that she made $2 million. Now, some of you may find this liberating. Some of you may think, wow, feminism. In fact, the person who recorded her in the docuseries where this was documented asked her if she's a feminist, and she said absolutely 100%. But I wonder if it begs the question, is just performing for men and basically, if in my opinion, doing this for external validation, it is external validation in some senses.
How is that like fully being?
How is it feminist?
And how is that liberation?
So, Lily Phillips had a documentary recorded following her doing what she was doing, and she also was posting on TikTok talking about how it's her goal to sleep with 100 men. She also has let us know that since university, she was sleeping around with everybody. So like, to her, it was just fun.
Yeah, she said that she first was trying to make some money, and then she said, what's the point? When she saw how much money she was making, like, what's the point of university? Might as well just keep doing this.
Yeah, so because she was already sleeping around in uni, and then thought, wow, I can make a profit off this, and then saw the profit she was making, she quit her degree, quit education to fully become what I now see as she's like a porn star / prostitute. And I don't feel that way about everyone that does OnlyFans, but this case,
yeah, I mean,
is extreme.
Yeah. And apparently she has before done 50 men in a day.
And she's also said 37 men in a day.
Oh,
it was 37.
Okay.
So to her, It was like, it seems to be about breaking records and killing the game. But let's go over what we picked up on in this documentary and how Lily Phillips has reacted to what she is doing.
Within the interviewer asked her in the documentary, did you even consider that you can get HIV? And then she was like, wait, I can get it through that? Like through oral?
Mm-hmm.
Like you could tell immediately, like, first of all, I would think if you're doing something this extreme sexually with random strangers, you would have knowledge about, the potential risks involved.
So you would let, like, these guys do that on your face?
Yeah.
And in your mouth?
Yeah.
What if they had HIV?
Is that where it comes from?
It seems like it was very, like, foreign to her. Like, oh, you can get that through that? Like, he's like, of course, it's, like, bodily contact. Like,
and to top it off, she said they all have to get tested and send her a screenshot.
It's just very nilly-willy. Like, it's not, I feel like she's not taking it as serious as I thought she would, based on the fact that this is your profession, because anyone can go download on Google that their sexual test and be like, oh, I'm clean. Like, a screenshot just feels so
like, you not asking
official
for your team to receive papers of proof is crazy. And that just leads me to believe that you do not value your body, and I don't care what anyone says. Someone that is willing to do this and then also not take the precautions to make sure that they are 100% safe and healthy, this person does not care for their body.
Yeah, that's definitely not what it seems to me, based on everything that she's done. And when he asked her if she would get married, she mentioned how, yeah, like, I'm down for whoever's, like, willing to, like, lend me.
What?
Yeah, like, she's basically like, I would marry a person who's okay with me being lent to other people.
So she wouldn't want to stop.
Yeah, that's what she was basically insinuating.
Okay, so I missed that part, but just so you guys know, Lily Phillips is 23 years old. To be 23 and doing something so extreme, and the fact that she constantly reiterates that her family is fully aware of her and what she does, her parents are aware, and that her father's friends have
messaged her, right?
Have messaged her on OnlyFans and have basically, they are fans of her. They she said her dad has said like, oh, my friends have seen your cooter, and like, I don't understand how these conversations are going down. I am so perplexed.
Like, how are your parents dealing with this? This is crazy.
Honestly, this is really dehumanizing to me, because putting yourself in a position to be an object makes me wonder what happened to you. For those who don't know, there are a lot of times, aside from being wounded and having some serious trauma, I wonder if that trauma stems from sexual assault. A lot of times when women are assaulted, they try to take back their power in very drastic ways.
Overly sexual.
And that is one of them. Overly promiscuous, feeling like if you take control of your promiscuity, it erases
what happened.
Exactly. So it really makes me wonder if in university, did something happen to you?
I feel like also she talks in a very unconscious state. She's mentioned how she doesn't remember majority of the faces, maybe about 5 faces she remembers amongst the men.
I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by the, I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna do this, and like it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal sex at all. In my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know? But yeah.
She says that like it's like normal, and what really made me uncomfortable is, for those who don't know, there's a trafficking victim named Allie Carter who claims to be trafficked through the tunnels with the celebrities and stuff. And in her affidavit, she talked about how she was forced to have sex with so many people that night that she can barely remember anyone's face. So watching Lily Phillips casually say, I think I remember like 6 or 7 of them, but like the rest, like I don't know. That's really troubling.
Yeah.
It was
That's
14
so
hours.
Scary.
14 hours of sex with her OnlyFans fans. These are men who were even flying in.
Men flew in for this, and that just goes to show you the power of of women, and that's why I feel like you are undervaluing yourself, because I think you're worth a lot more than that, 100%, but you kind of did it like a free-for-all because they support you.
And I also think the men in this scenario are very disturbing. They were lined up in a queue like it was a clinic.
I'm sleeping with 100 guys in a day.
Have you done anything to make sure there's not someone with a criminal record, for example, coming down?
We actually have not, no.
This is where the applications are coming through.
Where the guys are messaging.
I guess I'm here for the thing. I never really think about things before I do them, so I just kind of do them and then think, oh, you know, was that okay?
How long have you known or been a fan of Lily Phillips?
Since the beginning, I would say.
Did you ever think you'd be able to have sex with her?
No, never.
And today you did?
Yes.
Do you know how many guys have gone before you?
No idea. No idea.
Yeah, like example.
Yeah, well, I don't really know. You know, I just thought.
Are you happy you did it?
A little bit. I'm just a bit nervous on anything if I know. My dad would kick me out straight away.
I actually think that the man in the clip that was shaking the documentary, it blurs all the men's faces out, but he did try to speak to one of the men that had just been in the room. He's actually shaking, and he looks like a kid. I can just tell. I don't know how, but just based on his legs and what he was saying, he's like, my parents would absolutely freak out if they knew I was here. They'd kick me out of the house. And I recall her reading a message from an 18-year-old who said he really wanted her to take his virginity. And I think it's so disturbing to even accept an 18-year-old into this.
It's just, And it also shows you how men and women are different when it comes to sex. Like, yes, you know, there is an energy exchange, but it, I think, impacts a woman way more because they are entering your body. Like, you are a cavity of some, like, you know what I mean? Like, you are this space where they get to enter and they get to leave when it's over. And they get to just go take a shower. But you can't really cleanse that away, if that makes sense.
You would have to do a spiritual cleanse, and you'd have to be serious about like washing that away, a spiritual cleanse, like dead ass, and changing your ways in order to remove what's happened to you. But instead, she set out the goal to have sex with 1,000 men in one day in February to break the record.
Oh, it was 1,000?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was 2.
No.
Because that's kind of crazy. Anyway.
1,000 men in a day, meaning it would be a full 24 hours.
And it was really disturbing to see that at the end of it, she shows the room and it's just really filthy. It
There's
has
condoms
everywhere.
The cameraman gagged.
And it smelled like, you know, obviously like sex, like people have been doing things there. And when he was asking her about her experience, the thing that made her break out in tears was the fact that she felt bad that sometimes she had to cut it off within 2 minutes and she promised 5. And
because they finished fast.
Yeah, so and they were like, wait, like I came all the way for this, and that would make her upset because she feels like she's not pleasing them enough.
I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them, and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like when you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
She's like, I don't want them to feel like they didn't get what they wanted. And I'm just thinking about how, this is why I say, how can you tell me that this doesn't have to do with validation in its own way? She is crying, and I also think internally she's crying because of what she just did to her own body. And you may not want to address that, Lily, because you don't seem to want to confront whatever trauma you have, and you want to mask this as fun and liberation and like I'm having a good time. You looked horrible at the end. You looked horrified. Empty in your eyes. You looked horrified.
You don't even seem like a person. Like it feels like you're a shell of a person.
Exactly. And the fact that the only thing that brought you to tears was that you didn't satisfy them is extremely alarming. And I really hope young women don't look to her as someone that is like of woman empowerment. There's nothing empowering about what she did, nor should we ignore the fact that she gave a blowjob to every single one of them.
Without a condom as well. And yeah, every single one. 101 men.
Do you understand how insane it is that you want to serve that many men sexually in the 5 minutes? What were they doing for you? Like, it's crazy. Like, how can you tell me you're having fun? This is all for you when this is like the context of what went down. Again, I find it very disturbing that the men showed up, but I also find it on brand. If you put out a poster saying, I'm free, come F me, of course men are going to show up. You've decided you're an object. Like, you literally came online and said, I'm an object. Come F me on camera.
Yeah, it just feels so... As a woman, this was a very disturbing thing to watch. I felt very uneasy the entire time. And I just can't imagine how this in any way, shape, or form is positive.
I just can't.
And neither could the documentary interviewer. He couldn't fathom it, and he himself is a man.
And he kept saying that he doesn't believe that she was
100% okay. It seemed like she was actually starting to get kind of just nervous and like
he said her weeks before or days before as well, when she talked about it, she seemed different than the actual day it was going on.
And I feel like also she brings up how she was concerned about how her parents viewed her. And I think it's like, if you were really truly proud of what you were doing, I don't think even your parents could really stop like, you wouldn't really care about what anyone thinks because you're that confident in your decision making. That's what I think.
Yeah, so it's weird to me. I repeat, I really want to know what traumatic thing happened to you. Like, were you essayed by your own father? Like, I want to understand, because there's no way you're going to convince me that this is just all fun and games for you. All I see is the trauma and a very broken shell of a woman. And I honestly pray that you get an awakening and realize what you have done to yourself and what you are doing.
Yeah.
And you are able to get out of whatever you're doing.
I think you need to seek therapy and get help. You're definitely... This is not normal that you don't have any therapist or anything like that.
You make a lot of money. You're not making any businesses to not do this. You find this as the business. The fact that getting married, you want to continue doing this, it's very troubling. So I don't really know. But let's go and see what the people had to say about this online, since last night it actually broke. And it's like all over the news now. You're on E! News, baby. I hope this is what you wanted, because you're not getting good feedback.
Because no one can't fathom. And I was actually shocked also that banks don't want to work with her or like take her money. That's crazy.
Someone said, my hot take on the Lily Phillips situation is this. Liberal feminists have significantly disserviced younger women by creating a false sense of empowerment through sex work, when realistically, sex work will always be patriarchal in nature.
Exactly.
Yes, she made that choice. So whilst I can somewhat understand people's reluctance, refusal to extend empathy to Lily, I do think a lot of you need to check your misogyny and internalize misogyny. The commentary surrounding this documentary is sounding violent and scary. Another comment says, the fact that there are women who sleep with one man their entire life, and then there's Lily Phillips, who completely looks normal, had sex with 100 men, strangers, in a single day, got over it, and is now planning to do the same with 1,000 men. It just goes to show you that you have to be careful who you choose as a partner. Needless to say, no woman can remain the same after such experience. I see people saying, so sad, I feel so bad for her. I don't. Everything was consensual. There are really crazy things happening in this world, done by lost people. Emphasis on lost people. As much as it's wrong and toxic for society to have things like this exist, I really believe she will forever serve as an example of what not to become. An eloquent read.
Yeah, for sure.
Another person who is a mother had said, I have a daughter and I can explicitly say this stunt was the saddest thing ever, and it's a low point for Lily Phillips and young girls and social media in general. She is redefining dread, despair, and sickness. The only thing more disgusting than this woman's acts are all the men who went through this with this abomination. Find God and save your soul. It's never too late.
Seriously. I really hope that you find God and realize you're worth more than that. Sex is sacred, and I really want you to realize that. Like, it's not just this trivial thing that you think it is. Your womb is access to the spiritual world, and you've been using it like it's not special, and that's very sad.
And one thing I want to say to finish up this video is for you guys to understand, I know people hate hearing this because it means that you have to be accountable and that you'll have to actually care about who you sleep with, and I know you guys don't want to. It is a spiritual exchange whether you want to believe that or not. You also can take on traits from your partners with sex. If someone you have sex with has deep depression, you may catch, like, I know it sounds like a sickness, you may catch depression, but you can actually become depressed because you're sleeping with someone who has depression. I literally knew a girl who told me she had really bad insomnia after sleeping with someone who was an insomniac, and suddenly she was always struggling with sleep all the time. There are so many stories where people talk about how they caught a bad habit or they became like the person they were sleeping with in a negative way. So when you're having one-night stands and you're doing all of this with people you don't know, you are risking your body, your health, and your spiritual health, your spiritual aura. And a lot of you don't want to acknowledge those things.
Yeah,
and
it just blows my mind. Stop. You guys keep pretending that spirituality is not interconnected with this reality, and it is.
So all I have to say, honestly, is I pray for you, Lily Phillips. Like,
All I can do is pray for you, and
I really hope you
Yeah.
do not influence the next generation. I hope no one sees you as someone to look up to, someone to be like. I hope that in the future, I really do hope in the future you look back at this in horror. I don't think you should be happy about what has happened here.
at all.
Your comment section on Instagram is so vile. They all see you as an object. All these men being like, oh my god, me next, girl. Like, what the fuck? Like, I want to get my turn.
Insane. That is crazy.
Now, let us know, would you guys be down to have sex with 100 men in one day? Or what do you guys think about this Lily Phillips story?
Yeah, comment down below. Let us know. Like, what makes you think that this is sexual liberation? Please let me know.
Yeah,
I don't
if you
get it.
actually think it is and you find it empowering, I'm very open to hearing your perspective. I would love to know what about this feels good. Because I see some girls being like, right on, sister, and that troubles me. So please let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Lily Phillips situation, your thoughts on all of it. Make sure that you like,
Comment,
share,
and subscribe.
and turn on that notification bell because it is Vlogmas and the Remy Diaries are posting every single day. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye.